This is Spanish 3, and in this video we'll be talking about the second part of Unit 2. So this is Unit 2, Part 2. Please refer to the previous video, Unit 2, Part 1, to get the first half of your work for that unit. So if you haven't done that yet, please make sure you go back to that previous video. And we stopped at workbook page 27 in your packet. Okay, vocabulario en contexto. Vocabulario en contexto. This is where you have new vocabulary, so make sure when you see these headings, a primera vista, you stop and look closely, carefully at that vocabulary. So this is a primera vista dos. You had primera vista uno previously, and I did that in another video. So let's look at these vocabulary items. In the objectives, we can get some idea of the theme and what we're going to be learning about and why. So read, listen to, and understand information about music, drama, and dance performances, and then art reviews as well. This is important because you often see different reactions to cultural events and things like plays and concerts, etc. So those are very common in language, and you'll see that quite a bit in any language, really. Okay, let's start. Aquí tienes algunas reseñas que aparecieron en el periódico sobre las actividades de la Semana Cultural. So here you have some reseñas, or some reviews. They're reviews, they're critical reviews that appeared in the newspaper on the activities of Cultural Week, or Cultural Week, La Semana Cultural, and you have programa here. Sueño de una noche de verano is literally a dream of a summer night, of a night of summer. That would be Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. Conjunto musical, Los Zarceros de Hoy. Conjunto is a combo. It's a group. It's a musical group. Taller de danza. Taller is a workshop. Lectura de poemas de autores latinoamericanos. A reading of poems from Latin American authors. Okay, so here número uno. El actor que actuó en Sueño de una noche de verano y que interpretó el papel de Puck fue muy cómico. Al exagerar tanto los gestos, se pareció a un político. El público se rió mucho. Okay, so of course, Midsummer Night's Dream is a comedy. It's one of Shakespeare's comedies. The actor that acted or played in Midsummer Night's Dream, and that interpreted the role of Puck. Interpretó, he played the role. Papel in a theater or a movie, it means a role, to play a role, to play a part. Okay, so he played the role of Puck, and he was very funny. Fue muy cómico. Al exagerar tanto los gestos, by exaggerating so many of his gestures, his movements of his hands, etc., se pareció a un político. He looked like a politician. And the public laughed a lot. Okay, then we have dos. El conjunto de salsa, Los Zarceros de Hoy, estuvo sensacional. So the musical group, the band, the salsa band, salsa group, Los Zarceros de Hoy, the salsa musicians of today, was sensational. It was fantastic. It performed Burbujas de Amor, bubbles of love, or love bubbles. Interpretó, it interpreted But and when you're talking about a performance, when you're talking about music or a play or something like that, you can think of it as performed. He performed it con entusiasmo, with enthusiasm. Muchos jóvenes bailaron al ritmo de las canciones. Many young people danced to the rhythm of the songs. So we have some things that you might see in an ensemble, right? Conjunto is an ensemble. Have a trompeta, a trumpet, micrófono is a microphone, a tambor. Below you'll see a tambor. That is a drum, a tambor. Okay, let's go on to the next page. We have número 3. Felicitaciones a los bailarines que realizaron una interpretación hermosa del Lago de los Cisnes. El aplauso del público fue impresionante y muchas personas se pararon con entusiasmo. So here we have el aplauso, right? The applause, clapping. Felicitaciones, congratulations to the dancers. Los bailarines. I know it looks like bailarina or ballerina in English, but bailarines is the male and female. It's the masculine plural. Okay, so they que realizaron una interpretación hermosa. So they performed a beautiful rendition of Al Lago de los Cisnes is Swan Lake, the Lake of Swans. El aplauso del público fue impresionante. So the audience's applause. And when you see this word público, that has to do with performances, say at a concert or play, dance. The público you can assume that it means audience, and you could try to see if it fits in the context and if it makes sense. A lot of times in these contexts, that will be the best way to translate. It's the audience's applause. Fue impresionante. It was impressive. Y muchas personas se pararon. All right, pararse is to stand up. Muchas personas se pararon. Many people stood up. Con entusiasmo, they were giving a standing ovation. Número 4. Los jóvenes en el auditorio se identificaron con la interpretación del hip hop del grupo de danza moderna. Algunos quisieron aprender sus movimientos rápidos y sus pasos complicados, pero no pudieron. Okay, so it's saying that the young people in the auditorium identified with the performance, the hip-hop performance of the modern dance group. So they identified with it, they enjoyed it. Algunos quisieron aprender. Some of them tried to learn their quick movements, right? Their fast movements. Sus pasos complicados, their complicated dance moves. Pasos they're steps, right? Pasos. So in a dance we're talking about steps in a dance, like what foot goes where and when. But you can also call them moves, right? Dance moves. And then it said, pero no pudieron. Now, in this video, we're going to see why it's pudieron, right? They did not manage to learn them, right? They tried. Quisieron is from querer, to want to. In the preterite tense, querer means to try, to attempt. And then pudieron, from poder, to be able to. If poder is in the preterite tense, it means to manage to do something. So they tried to learn these complicated moves, but they were not able to do that. They did not manage it. And we have el escenario, the stage, el escenario. So they're on the stage. Okay, número 5. Oh, by the way, we have danza clásica, which is classic dance or classical dance. Generally more traditional. So it's ballet. Things like ballet or waltz are considered danza clásica. Número 5. La poeta Sandra Cisneros leyó los poemas en voz alta y las palabras sonaron a música. Todos queríamos escuchar más. And so I have the lectura de poemas, the poetry reader, right? The poem reader. The poet, Sandra Cisneros. This is the feminine, right? La poeta. Actually, the masculine would be el poeta. So the word poeta actually does not change. Leyó los poemas. So she read the poems. Now, poem, is actually masculine. Okay. Los poemas. En voz alta. So she read them out loud. En voz alta means out loud, to read aloud, right? En voz alta, aloud. Y las palabras sonaron. The words sounded. Sonar a means to sound like. So they sounded like music. Todos queríamos escuchar más. We all wanted to, right? So queríamos es nosotros. We all wanted to hear more. Todos queríamos escuchar más. Now, compare that with quisieron aprender. They tried to learn, right? But here we wanted to. So the imperfect of querer, which is the quería, right? Querías, querían, queríamos. That means that you wanted to do something. Quiso, quise, quisieron, quisimos. That means you tried to do something. Okay, next we have Espectáculos del Mundo Latino. Right, the shows from the Latin world. ¿Alguna vez buscas información sobre un espectáculo en una revista, en un periódico o en la red? Las reseñas te pueden ayudar a encontrar las películas, las obras de teatro y las exposiciones que más te interesan. ¿Qué dicen estas reseñas? Okay, so it's asking, has there been a time, at some point, did you look for information about a show in a magazine, a newspaper, or online, right? En la red is literally on the net. Of course, this is internet, right? Las reseñas te pueden ayudar. So reviews can help you find movies, obras de teatro or plays, obras de teatro, and expositions or performances that interest you the most. What do these reviews say? So let's look at these all together here. Facundo Cabral cantó en el Teatro Metropolitan de Mexico. Okay, so it's a singer, right? He sang in the Metropolitan Theater in Mexico. Facundo Cabral se presentó en el Teatro Metropolitan para festejar sus 30 años en la música. Cabral, quien a los 14 años era analfabeto, es autor de la letra y la melodía de sus canciones. En esta canción, Cabral cantó: "No soy de aquí, ni soy de allá. Este es un nuevo día, América", y muchas más. So Facundo Cabral is the singer here. He presented, right? He performed in this theater, right? The Metropolitan Theater, to festejar, to celebrate, right? Think of like feast or fiesta, right? Festejar is to celebrate his 30 years in music. So Cabral, who at 14 years, right? So 14 years of age, he was illiterate, analfabeto. Es autor de la letra y la melodía de sus canciones. So it's saying, yeah, he was illiterate, but he is the author of the lyrics, la letra. Now, it can mean letter, like a letter of the alphabet. But here, when we're talking about music, la letra means the lyrics. Okay, la letra y la melodía. So he's not only does he write the melody, he writes the music and composes, but he also writes the lyrics de sus canciones, of his songs, canciones. En esta ocasión, right, on this occasion, this performance, Cabral sang, no soy de aquí, ni soy de allá. I'm not from here, nor am I from there. Este es un nuevo día, this is a new day, and America, and many more. Muchas más. Muchas más is feminine because he's singing songs. Las canciones, right? Las canciones. Okay. Next. We have la reseña. We have one that's online, right? Internet review. El Museo Vivo del Tango dedicó la semana a la música argentina, right? The Living Museum of the Tango dedicated the week to Argentine music. El Museo Vivo del Tango en Buenos Aires ofreció un espectáculo original de gran esplendor. Lo que más se destacaron fueron un cantante y el tango ballet, quienes después de actuar enseñaron a los visitantes los pasos básicos del tango. So, the Living Museum of the Tango in Buenos Aires, so the Living Museum of Tango, offered an original show that was really spectacular. It had the things that stood out. All right, se destacaron. Destacarse is to stand out. Things that stood out were the or a singer y the tango ballet, right? Who, after acting, después de actuar, enseñaron, they taught the visitors the basic steps of the tango. Okay. Now we got a couple more reseñas, and then we'll move on to the grammar for this unit. ¿Recuerdan a Lope de Vega? La compañía de danza contemporánea de León presentó Poeta del Cielo y de la Tierra, basada en la obra de Lope de Vega. Los bailarines representaron con sus movimientos y gestos la obra de este escritor español que se caracteriza por combinar lo trágico y lo cómico. Okay, so Lope de Vega is a poet. He wrote plays. He's a very prolific writer. He wrote a lot in Spain, actually around the time Cervantes wrote the Quixote. He lived around the same time period. They were contemporaries. So the modern dance company, right? Danza contemporánea, the contemporary dance, we might say modern dance, company of León, presented Poet of Heaven and Earth, based on the work of Lope de Vega, right? La obra, it means work, but when we use the word obra, generally it means artistic work, writing or performing or something like that. The work of a particular author or artist. Okay, so we're talking about artistic works here. Los bailarines, right, the dancers, presented. Remember, representar, although it can mean represent, you got to remember in when we're talking about the arts and everything like that, we got to think of it as perform, first and foremost. So they performed with their movements, right? Con sus movimientos y gestos, with their movements and how they move their arms, hands, right? Those are gestos, right? Gestures. La obra de este escritor español. So they presented, they performed his work with their movements and gestures. The work of this Spanish writer, Spanish author, que se caracteriza por combinar lo trágico y lo cómico, who's characterized by combining the tragic and the comic. So mixing together tragic elements and say his plays, and also funny parts in his plays as well at the same time. So it's kind of, these are opposites, aren't they, in tragedy and comedy? But Lope de Vega put them together in some ways. Okay, Mark Antony llenó el Madison Square Garden. So Mark Antony filled up Madison Square Garden in New York. Una vez más se vendieron todas las entradas para el concierto de Mark Antony en el Madison Square Garden. Después de interpretar sus éxitos en inglés, You Sang to Me, My Baby You, el público se unió a Anthony para cantar sus éxitos en español y bailar al compás de su música. So, once again, all the tickets were sold for Mark Anthony's concert in Madison Square Garden. So it's saying they were sold out, right? Tickets were sold out. After performing his éxitos, his hits. Okay, éxito means success, right? Tener éxito is to be successful. But when we're talking about éxitos in performances and singers and all that, that's the hits, right? We call them greatest hits, don't we? So he performed his greatest hits in English, right? His hits in English. You sang his hit songs, right? You sang to me and My Baby You. El público, the audience. Remember, el público here means audience. The audience gathered together with Anthony, right? They went, maybe it's like they went near him. They did a thing together, right? They did something together. Para cantar sus éxitos en español. So they came together with Anthony to sing his hits in Spanish and dance to the beat of his music. So they kind of they were very involved in the music. So that's why it says se unió, literally to become united. Okay, they joined him in singing and dancing to the beat of his music. Okay, that'll be it for the vocabulary. Now we'll look at some grammar. Some important grammar features, grammatical features for this unit. This will be for the last part of your unit, and then I'll make another video to walk you through the pacing guide. So first of all, we have ser y estar. Remember, ser and estar both mean to be, but they're used in different situations and have different meanings. And this has been since Spanish 1. So this is a good review. Repaso, right? Use ser to describe permanent characteristics of objects and people. Esa canción es muy original. Right? That song is very original, so it's a characteristic. Indicate origin, nationality, or profession. Mi tía es escritora, es de Madrid. Right? My aunt is a writer, she's from Madrid. Indicate where, when, and where something takes place. El concierto es el viernes. Es en el teatro. Right? It's a location, but it's an event. It's very important that it's something that takes place somewhere. Okay? And you could say, está en el teatro, but that means like he's in the theater, right? Or it's in the theater. But if it's an event is in the theater, it's a whole different thing. You would say, es en el teatro. Indicate possession. La guitarra es de Elisa, right? It is Elisa's. Now, using estar, you want to use it to describe temporary characteristics, emotional states or conditions. Teatro está cerrado, right? It's closed, está abierto. Los actores están muy nerviosos. Indicate location. El conjunto está en el escenario. The band is on stage, right? The ensemble. To form the progressive tense, you want to say el bailarín está interpretando a Cabral. So the dancer is performing, is interpreting Cabral, right? He's giving a performance of something that Cabral wrote, let's say. And he's doing it at this moment, right? Using this. It's kind of like the is with the ing in English, right? But in Spanish, it actually means that at that moment, it's actually happening. Okay, some adjectives have different meanings depending on whether they're used with ser or estar. Okay, you can use either one, but we want to we have to differentiate between what the meaning is. So la bailarina es bonita, right? The dancer is pretty. As a person, that's just the way she is, right? Now, look at the next one. All we did is we changed es to está. We have la bailarina está muy bonita hoy. The dancer looks pretty today. And she, may not always look this pretty, but she's especially pretty today. Just the way she looks. So really, when you use estar with words like this, when you can use both, it has more of the speaker's attitude and feelings about it. You'll see this often. Okay, so for example, if you want to say like, tacos are tasty. Los tacos son ricos, right? They're tasty. But los tacos están ricos means, oh man, these tacos taste great. Okay. These ones right here, right? The ones at my party or whatever, these taste good, right? We say they taste good. So it's like the speaker's opinion about a specific thing. Okay, el cómico es aburrido. He is boring. The comedian is boring. He's a boring person. El cómico está aburrido. He is bored right now. He feels bored. El cantante rico. The singer is wealthy. El postre está rico. It tastes very good. Okay, the dessert tastes good. So use ser rico for usually if somebody's rich, right? But estar rico means that something is tasty, that something tastes good. And then we have verbos con distinto sentido en el pretérito and en el perfecto. Much like we had differences with ser and estar when they're used with the same adjective. Many times we have some verbs that have a whole different meaning between the two past tenses that other verbs don't have as much. For example, you have, you take comer, right? The verb comer, to eat. Say, comí, I ate. Comía, I was eating. It's pretty easy to know where you would use each one, right? Because if you say comí, that means you did it, you're done eating and all that stuff. If you say comía, that means you were eating, and it's like something interrupted the action. It would be like something maybe happened. You didn't actually finish eating, possibly. Okay? Well, and these are even more pronounced in their differences. Saber, for example. Saber means new, right? Or saber means to know. So sabías, the meaning would be new. ¿Sabías que el concierto empezaba tarde? Did you know the concert was starting late? Did you know that? Okay. But if you're going to use the preterite, it's going to be that you found out, or you learned, or you realized something. Sí, supe ayer que empezaba tarde. Yes, I found out yesterday. It's like yesterday, it's when you became aware of the fact. Conocer is to know somebody, right? To know a person. Be familiar with a person, place, or situation. And in the imperfect, it means you knew the person. Pedro conocía muy bien a esa actriz. Pedro knew, or used to know, that actress really well. But the preterite would be that he met somebody. Luis la conoció el año pasado. Luis met her last year. So you have the word met, la conoció, but knew somebody is la conocía. Let's see the difference there. Querer, and we talked about that just in this video. In the imperfect, it means wanted to. Luis quería comprar las entradas hoy. Right? Luis wanted to buy the tickets today. but with the preterite, it has the meaning of tried to. Yo quise comprarlas, pero me enfermé. I tried to buy them, but I got sick. No querer, didn't want to, in the imperfect. No querían ver esa obra de teatro. They did not want to see that play. But refused is a whole different kind of thing, isn't it? No quisieron ver esa obra de teatro. They refused to see that play. A little different than didn't want to. Didn't want to means that maybe they did anyway. Maybe they saw it anyway, but they just didn't want to. Or maybe they didn't want to and then something changed, right? Maybe once they saw it, once they got there, they were like, oh, this is pretty cool. But no quisieron means they just refused. Probably didn't change anything. Probably nothing changed after that. Poder. You were able to. You could do it. Ella podía aprender la letra de la canción. She could learn the lyrics of the song. But with the preterite, as we've talked about also, it means managed to or succeeded in doing it. Ella pudo aprender la letra de esa canción. She managed to learn the lyrics of that song. So we have in your example, quisieron aprender, right? We had the dance, right? The hip hop group. Quisieron aprender, they tried to learn, pero no pudieron, but they were not able to. They did not succeed in doing that. Okay, that is it for your vocabulary and grammar for part 2 of Unit 2. And we'll do the walkthrough. Your next video will be the walkthrough for the packet.